That's right. What's going on, everyone? Today we are looking at the brand new release 2015 FBI crime report. Now, we do this every year to make sure that we are properly identifying what's the problem in America with crime, who's committing crimes in certain areas. Are we destroying propaganda with the actual numbers they're actually putting out? So we always know the statistics, what they try to say or what they want to focus on to statistics always when it comes to the African American community, but they do not focus on the whole thing of crime within the United States and who is mostly responsible for the crime of the United States. Now, let's go ahead and look. And remember, this is from the FBI. You see the link up here. It's not me making none of this stuff up at all. Just doing my due diligence. So as we look at this, it's broken down, and we're going to look at the total number of arrests. They say 8.2 million arrests. That's on this thing here. Now, they break it down. 5.7 million white, 2.1 million black, 174,020 on the American Indian or Alaska Native, Asian, 100,000 arrests, Native Hawaiian, other Pacific Islander. You have 23,272 is what they want to put on here. Now, the total of arrests in the United States based on percentage. Once again, at close to 70%, 69.7%, white, black, 26.6%. And then you see the other numbers. Now, according to the American media, according to the white supremacists, the black number should be about 70%. But when you actually look at the actual numbers based off what the FBI is reporting, not the Black Panthers or the Nation of Islam or any group you say that don't like you, this is coming from your FBI. Now, let's go back to the individual things they putting down. You have murder and non-negligent manslaughter. Here, we look at the numbers, 51.1% on black, 45.9% on white. Now, remember, this is total arrests. Let me scroll up because, see, the white supremacists are so remedial. You got to keep explaining this to them. They say this is the total estimated population, but this is the total amount of arrests. Let's say this again for the slow white supremacists. The total amount of population, the total number of arrests, okay? Because you're going to say that, well, you know, we're more the population and yet blacks only 13% and they commit all these crimes. It's not based on total population. I hope you see that. This is the estimated. This is the total. Estimated total. Let me say this again. Estimated population, total number of arrests. Okay, you got it? All right. So now, as we continue here, and I had to talk to them like that because they just ignorant. If you look at rape, 68.0, man, y'all went up from last year. That raping is an epidemic, and y'all not talking about that stuff, but you want to talk about what black people do. 28.2 on black. Now, as I stated before, the 51.1% on the murder and non-negligent manslaughter. And also you look at the robbery, that's high, 53.5. That's all relegated to low income, no hope areas. That's exactly what that said. Once you get past the low income areas within the black community, crime is literally non-existent. And that's proven over and over again. Now, robbery is 44.4% on the side of white. Now, don't get it twisted. Don't walk around like you holier than thou. Talk to me when you got the number of the Asian. It's like 1.5. Then you holier than thou and you can open your mouth to tell us something about the 51.1%. Because you're not very far behind with 45.9. And that's with white privilege. Now, if black people actually had white privilege, our numbers would probably be just like the Asian number, right? Or probably even lower. Remember, 53.5. If you want to open your mouth and say something, look at the Asian number or look at the American Indian number, something like that, 0.9, 0.8. If you go get on your soapbox and talk to black people, you can't talk to black people having 44.4. You can't say crap. So always put them in their place when they talk to you like that. Okay. If the Asian community want to say something, I think we maybe should listen to them. But we don't need to listen to this group of people who got numbers as high with everything on their side. Okay. Aggravated assault, 64.0, 32.1. All right, here we go again. Burglary, 68.1, 29.5. We have larceny and theft, 69.6, 27.4. Motor vehicle theft, 67.2, 29.4. We just seeing who's committing most of the crimes. And don't you ever believe, brothers and sisters, that you're committing all the crimes in this country. And remember, this is what they're going to say, where it's more of us than you. Has nothing to do with more of us than you. Remember, as we established earlier, it's based on total number of arrests, not population. All right. We got to keep reminding them that. Now, arson, 73.2, 22.5. We're not burning up the place, even though I know you're going to say, yeah, all y'all doing riots. Still ain't catching up with you. Violent crime, 60.1, 36.4. Property crime, 69.2, 27.8. Other assaults, 65.9, 30.8. Forgery and counterfeiting, 64.6, 33.0. Fraud, 66.6, 31.0. Embezzlement, 60.6, 36.8. See, what the FBI is telling you is that we're not committing all the crimes, no matter what propaganda they put out there, no matter what a white supremacist says. This is their FBI telling on them right now, once again, for the past few years. 65.5, 32.0 on buying stolen property, receiving or possessing. Vandalism, 69.5, 27.2. Weapons, carrying, possessing, etc., 57.7, 40.0. Now, blacks is a little higher than that, but we still not the number one, of course. We don't really obsess over guns like that. Prostitution and commercialized vice, 54.5, 39.9. Sex offenses, except rape and prostitution, 73.1, 23.1. These sex offenses is through the roof. And I don't hear anything being spoken about when it comes to protecting children, protecting women, or anything. They just keep that stuff quiet when you literally have an epidemic of sex offenses and rape going on. But yet it's quiet. But you want to talk about Chicago? Please. Drug abuse violations, 70.7, 27.0. Gambling, 36.0. Black people, 56.4. Well, I guess you're getting caught shooting craps and doing all kind of other stuff, I guess, right? Let's see here. Offensive against the family and children, 65.8, 29.8. Now, offenses against family and children would be your domestic abuse, child abuse, etc., right? Driving under the influence, your DUIs, whether it's under liquor or whether it's under prescription medication, 82.6. Blacks, 13.2. Epidemic numbers. And yet Fox News Channel, CNN, or none of this mention this. Liquor laws, 79.8, 13.8 for black people. Epidemic numbers. Drunkenness, 76.4, 14.3. Epidemic numbers. This is bad. Drunk driving, killing innocent families, innocent people on the roads of America. And you're seeing where all these arrests are coming from. This is people that's been actually arrested. Now, arrest is one thing. Going to jail is another. That's a totally different story. Okay. Disorderly conduct, 64.0, 31.0. Vagrancy, 68.8, 26.7. All other offenses except traffic, 68.6, 28.0. Suspicion, 44.1, 27.4. Curfew and loitering violations, 52.8, 44.7. Now, this one is like all wrapped up into one, correct? On table 43A. Now, you have table 43B and table 43C, which 43B is arrest under 18. And we will see that your crime within the black community is going to be a little higher on some areas with the teenagers or those who are under 18. And we know from the black community, a lot of people who get involved in crimes in our community. A lot of times younger kids with no supervision. They think gang life is the place to be, no fathers, XYZ. So we'll see this here. The rate is higher with juvenile blacks than, and it's like off the charts when against juvenile whites. Then, but when it comes to the raping, it switches right back. That raping is just a trip. The robbery is blacks are doing a whole lot more robbing in the hood. Aggravated assault, as you can see these numbers here, and I'm not gonna quote them all, but I'm gonna slowly go down. But as you can see, the kids under 18 within the black community commit certain crimes, not all of them, but certain crimes a little higher than maybe the total number. And that's something we definitely got to pay attention to. And that's something we got to work on just as a community to fix our issues, since we can look at these numbers and tell, okay, this is where the crime is mostly happening with the younger people who's under 18. Still, the driving under influence, liquor law, drunkenness is still epidemic proportions in the white community. And that's not good for them either, drunk driving, XYZ. Just as we scroll down. Now, C is arrest over 18. And, we're not going to zoom through that as, because we kind of did like a total on A. So we'll just go through that. If you guys want to look at this stuff, you can welcome to it. The link is up at the top. In 2015, 69.7% of individuals arrested were white, 26, as we, earlier. Now, based on ethnicity, 18.4% were Hispanic. Juveniles who were mostly arrested, 62.9, 33.9. They talk about the adults, as you can see here. White individuals were arrested more often for violent crimes than individuals of any race, and accounted for 60.1% of those arrests. So, as the FBI says, white individuals commit the most violent crimes, not black people. This is coming from the FBI. This is not coming from me. You see the link up there. Now, when it comes to murder, 50.4% were black, 46.5% were white, and 3.1% were other races. Remember, white supremacists, until you get the agent numbers in murder, then you come talk to us, okay? Because you're not very far behind. When you talk about the juveniles, same thing. About the violent crimes. White juveniles are 59.1% of all juveniles arrested for property crimes. Juveniles arrested for drug abuse violations, 75.0% were white. And that problem, the mainstream media is hiding as well within the white community, of the crystal meth and heroin epidemic that's literally their version of the crack epidemic. That's what's going on with them right now. And the mainstream media is being very quiet. But when black people was addicted to crack in, epidemic proportion, they wouldn't stop talking about it. They wouldn't stop making specials on it. They did stuff in school about it, all this other stuff. But you see this heroin and crystal meth epidemic in the white community, and they don't say nothing. And this is why I said on Twitter today, the white media do not care about white people because they refuse to address their issues. They refuse to have roundtable discussions to bring some sort of solutions to issues within the white community. But they spend all the doggone day talking about what black people should be doing. And that's the problem. They say white juveniles comprise of 55.7% of juveniles arrested for aggravated assault and 60.5% of juveniles arrested for larceny and theft. So this is the thing. We covered the 2015 number again. We do this to make sure we can look at, as crime did go up in some areas. It did go up. I saw that. Raping went up. So we all need to, no matter what community you're in, try to do our best to, fight crime, no matter where you're at. But also I do this to combat the propaganda of white supremacists and the media that tries to say blacks commit all the violent crimes, blacks commit the most crime, blacks only 13% of the population but commit this many. When let's go ahead and make sure we close this out once again, saying this because we have to deal with these remedial white supremacists. Estimated population is here. Total number of arrests, that's what they're going on. Okay, so out of 8.2 million arrests, And like I said again, because y'all love to keep talking about that, because even though I'm explaining this to them, they so remedial that they still not going to get it. You can't talk about no one when your murder rate is 45.9. When you get this number here, or this number, come talk to us. Tell us, because you would have every right to say something then, because you doing it. You doing well, and we need to figure out what we doing now. If anybody need to ask somebody something, we need to ask the Asian community what they're doing, or how are they conducting themselves. I mean, I kind of see just from the outside how they conduct themselves. And one thing I can kind of see, they mind their business. They do their thing within their own community, within their own culture. They stay out of all the mess with these, with all the racism and all this other stuff that's constantly going on. But like I said, it would be nice to be left the hell alone, like other communities are left alone. But we'll get to that another time. So make sure you share this video with your friends, because let them know that it's a bold-faced lie from the pit of hell that black people are committing the most violent crimes and all this other stuff, because we're not doing it. It's a lie. We aren't the most arrested or anything like that. If you like the video, click like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these FBI crime stat numbers, and subscribe for more news stories.